wanted to jump on real quick. I know that school systems, are starting to have students return to school. We're in this back to school window. And I want to take a moment to talk about something that a lot of people don't really mention. I want to talk about riding the bus. And everyone has their, the choice they want to make. But I'm going to tell you why we chose to put Kendall on the school bus each day from the time she was 3 until she just finished up in May. So one of the things about putting Kendall on the bus was consistency. Our mornings stayed pretty consistent because we needed to get up at a certain time and we had to be ready so that when the bus arrived, she was able to go out to the bus and be on time. So that consistency helped us as well as it helped her. And when we're thinking about our awesome babies, the more we can be consistent, the better off things are. The next one is it allowed her to also arrive at school at a certain time. And that helped with the morning routine. The teachers knew when she should arrive because that bus would come in at certain time. And that helped them establish their morning routine. What was she going to be able to do in the morning before school started and how long she would have to actually do it. Her thing was computer time. So she would actually get on the computer at school when she arrived in the morning until the school day started. So putting her on the bus gave her the same amount of time each day. Now, if we would have put her in the car, yes, we could have, because it actually would have been a lot easier in elementary school. What happens in the carpool line is your drop-off time varies. It depends on how many people are in that drop-off line. If you start to get frustrated in the car, your frustrations and anxiety run over to your kids. And then they hop out the car full of those anxiety. Their anxiety is built up. They're all anxious about everything that's going on. And they may even be frazzled or mad simply because they stayed in the car with you before you dropped them off. Now, another reason we chose to put Kendall on the bus was that it allowed us to have that moment of detachment where she was able to get away from us and, get some independence. Those minor things, really made a big deal because she was able to, as time went on, all we had to do was open the door and she would walk right out to the bus, because one of the benefits as well was that the bus came to our house. So she was picked up right in front of the house. So as a part of her gaining her independence, it went from someone walking her to the bus to us just opening the door and watching her walk out to the bus. So riding the bus gave us that independence as well. Another thing about riding the bus was it helped Kendall work on rules. She had to follow rules to ride the bus, and that was a good thing. Sometimes we think rules are a bad thing, but rules aren't always bad. We have rules that we have to follow in society. And when she was on the bus, during the time she was on the bus, she had to follow the bus rules. So that helped her to practice a skill that's a lifelong skill. Another reason we chose to put Kendall on the bus and was a benefit we never really thought about was she had bus friends. She had her friends who were on the bus with her each and every day. And when they were missing, she would sometimes wonder what happened. Why were they gone for so long? So she had bus friends. And that goes a long way with our awesome babies, because sometimes they don't really have an opportunity to make friends outside of their class if they're in some smaller classrooms sometimes. So this allowed her to mix with other students on the bus. So she had bus friends. Now, what I'm saying is it's up to you on what you decide to do. But our reasons for putting Kendall on the bus were more important, we think, to her development than if we had actually put her in the car and dropped her off each day. Everyone has to make a choice, but think about all the things you have to gain if you put your child on the bus. And I'm talking about our awesome babies. For Kendall, that was door-to-door service that let us know when she needed to be picked up in the morning, and we knew exactly when she was going to come home in the afternoon. So keep that in mind as we're preparing for the new school year. Some systems have already returned. Some systems will return soon. And ask yourself if you want to try to gain some of those things we see as wins that happen for us because we put Kendall on the bus. And if it's something you want to think about and something you want to talk about, comment below. and we can have a discussion and we can talk through some of the things that you see as the cons. But when we had to weigh our pros and cons, we actually realized that putting Kendall on the bus was a pro. It was a positive, and it really was something she looked forward to each and every day. So that's just, my talk, my 2 cents on the situation. As parents and families, you have the right to make your own choice. But if you have never thought about the bus, think about actually putting your child on the bus and see if you notice any, changes for them when it comes to consistency and, having that knowledge of that schedule of what it's going to be every day. Independence, the bus friends, following rules, all those things were things we can say we gained as a win because Kendall was on the bus every year from the time she was 3 until she just finished up in May. So from 3 to 21, Kendall rode the bus to school each day. So I hope everyone has a great 2023 school year. And that's just one thing to consider is think about putting your child on the bus.